Hey guys, today we have an Asus laptop G46v G46vw, and the problem with the laptop is the power connector right here. When you wiggle it, like right here, when you wiggle it charges sometimes. Basically, if you wiggle it up, down, left, right, it charges, but sometimes when just straight in, it doesn't charge, it doesn't want to charge anymore. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna replace the jack on the laptop. That's our specialty. We specialize in jack replacements, and I'm gonna show you how to replace it. So okay, let's begin. So first of all, we need to pry out this plastic piece right here. There's gonna be a screw right here. There is gonna be a screw right there. You unscrew the screw, remove the screw, put it aside, and then open up this cover right here. Then you have two screws right there, which you wanna unscrew. That's not working for me. Hold on. Okay. You wanna unscrew this guy. Well, my understanding is can lose. Okay. When we flip it over, it's gonna come out. For the rest of the screws here, you have to. There are two hidden screws right here and right there. What you wanna do is you wanna pry this guy outwards, put it aside, and pry this guy outwards and put it aside. Also, right there, two right here, two very long screws. Okay. All right. Now we got a special screwdriver right here. It's called T9. T9, and you just unscrew all of the screws that have a special star bit. So those three are gonna be long ones. 1, 2, and 3 are very long ones. So you unscrew them like that. And then you're gonna have 4 short ones right here, and we're just gonna unscrew them. One very short screw, and another one, and one more right there. Okay, and one right here. All right, good. So now we want to flip the laptop. This cover can be taken off right now. We take it off, and there is one cable right there which we need to disconnect. Usually we use a little pry bar to disconnect that cable. By the way, if you're in Chicago, you could stop by the repair. It's gonna take about an hour. If you decide to send just the motherboard, it's gonna be $60 total. There is a one silver and another one silver right there. Screw that hold the cable in place. If you wanna remove, you wanna mark the wireless cable right here, because you got two wireless cables. Those are not, you're not gonna mess them up, but it's a good idea to mark them. Alright, so here you should be careful about using any metal because the battery is still connected. So this one we disconnect, this we disconnect, and that cable right here we disconnect as well. We might want to disconnect the VGA cable, but it's a bit too soon right now. So one right here. Screw, this is not really long screw, this is just relatively mid-range screw. So two screws right there. And what we want to do is we don't want to short anything here. So what we want to do is we want to get the guitar pick and go all around the area. We have to find a sweet spot where a guitar pick gonna get fit inside without stretching anything. Let's see, I just wanna do. So guitar pick. Basically, you put the guitar pick, and with the second hand, you kind of pry it out open, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. Okay. And like that. So what you do now, you want to flip it to the side like that, because there is a cable inside. That's gonna be right there. You don't want to flip it like that, you want to flip it like that. What you want to do now, you want to disconnect the battery right here. And the way you do that is by, let me see the camera. Steady. There's a middle piece right here, you just want to kind of pull on it like that, okay. So now when it comes to this cable, what you want to do is you want to pry the white side, not the black side, the white side on this cable, pry it up with the nail and remove the cable that way. The reason I show you that, so that if you decide you want to send us just the motherboard, you can do all of this yourself at home. Right, and hopefully the resolution is really good on a big screen. So use your TV to see if you missed anything. So here what you want to do is you want to secure this cable in place for now, so it wouldn't be damaged while you solder this solder. Try not to disconnect it on the motherboard side, because oh shit, pull it again. Okay, give me 1 second, I need to go get another band-aid. Hold on. Okay, so I'm back. Where did we stop? Okay, the cable. The cable is secured in place. Now what you want to do is you want to disconnect this cable right here. Let's change the video angle a little bit here. So the way you disconnect that cable is by flipping the black hinge outwards, and then pull out the cable towards yourself. And then to disconnect this cable, what you want to do is you want to flip the white hinge towards yourself like that. Okay, and pulling it towards yourself. All right, now here is basically, let's see if we're gonna change the lighting a little bit. Is that gonna be better? That may be too much reflection going on here. Okay, so many bright components here. So what we want to do next, we want to disconnect this cable in the back. What you want to do is you want to pull on this plastic tabs and jam something in there to let the cable loose. You want to unscrew this screw. Alright, it's relatively short screw. Then you want to unscrew those two. So that's your bracket for the jack, for this jack. So you just pull out the bracket and you set it aside right there. You got screw right there and screw right there. So let's do one, and let's do the second one. Okay, so we got two screws out and that one out. So we set this whole thing aside. Alright, so let's do another. And now it's pretty straightforward. We've got 11 screws, so we go 1, we go 2, then I go 3, 4 right there, 5. This focus. Let me change the way how it focuses. Yeah, and that camera. Okay. Right, so you shut down the focus on this camera. Let's say it's gonna jump now. Okay, so I turned off the focus. So here we're just gonna continue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, wonderful. So another one right there. Like that. Okay. So what we do now is we wanna lift up this end, and then the whole thing gonna slide out. You wanna double check if all of the screws are out. Right, all of the screws are out. So the trick here is to pull the casing to the left, all the way there. At the same time, pry out this stuff, and while pulling, lift up everything. So yeah, like that, like that. Now it's gonna be grabbing onto the hinges right here. So what you wanna do is you wanna be pulling the casing outwards there as well. So when you're slowly lifting it up, you see it stops right here. So you just pry it out like that and pull it out like that. Okay. Now the jack gonna look fine. Okay, we got that screw that couldn't come out on the bottom. So what you wanna do is you wanna take the heatsink off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and there are 2 more screws right here. Alright. Now what you want to do is we want to disconnect the cable right here. And the heatsink is off. Now This jack conducts on both sides, the bottom and the top, or maybe just on the bottom. Yeah, and be careful because I always cut myself handling the board because there are sharp edges, sharp components. So yeah, let's. The problem is, here's what you need to do is not only the jack is the problem, but the problem is on those motherboards is the trace itself. That's hold on. I shut down the focus on this one, didn't I? All right. About like that. Okay. Yeah. So the problem is not so much the jack, but what's the noise? But the trace in the middle of the jack. Basically, the trace doesn't want to conduct the electricity anymore to this pad right here. So what you want to do is you want to run the wire from here. All right, let's kill the autofocus. Let's focus it myself. All right. So what you want to do is you want to run the wire from the pin all the way to this capacitor right here. That way, you would always have a solid connection. I'm gonna replace the jack. I'm gonna remove this jack. Probably a piece of tray is gonna come out, and I will see, because the problem here is this heatsink for the processor. It always hot and it melts the connection inside of the trace. So so that's your problem. It's not so much the jack, but mostly the connection to the sometimes the jack gets broken on the back, but for this particular model, the problem is always the inside. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna insulate the area around the jack so that nearby components won't be blown off course. And the thermal tape I just moved around. Oh, that's strange, really strange. Should have been right here. Covered it under the cover. So here. So we want to insulate nearby components so that they won't be flying off the motherboard. Okay, so here, like that, like that. Okay, and so nothing gets overheated much. Well, there's nothing in the back really that can get unsoldered. So let me move you to the soldering station, and let's switch the camera. All right. So like that, and we're probably going to be using the hot air station anyway. So like that, like that, like that. Alright, so let's try to change the focus so you would be able to see everything. Light and focus. Okay, that looks okay. So let's remove the paper from underneath. Let's rotate this guy a little bit more this way, so that there will be a lot more leverage here. The bolt is kind of big. Okay, let's power up the soldering station. Okay. Okay. All right. So first of all, we add a little bit more solder. Let's see how bad the focus is. All right. So that looks fine. Yeah. Afterwards. Okay. All right. So now, Together. Okay. Okay. So those two pieces right here those two right here, those are both negative. So if they have more solder than necessary, that's good for me because they can touch each other, it's fine. If one of them gets desoldered from the motherboard, the current gonna go through to another one and another one. So that's basically reassurance that it's gonna be a lot more stable. So right now we wanna test to make sure that the negative is working fine, which it does, and the positive works fine, which it does. And you see we made a hard wire to the capacitor right here. Capacitor on the other end is negative, but here is positive. So the system should be working fine. Alright, so yeah. Now let's clean it a little bit. So it will be a lot more cuter. I didn't see any issues with the old jack. Besides, maybe it wasn't that old, maybe it was already installed before by somebody else and the soldering connection wasn't that great. Or maybe the factory soldering connection isn't that great. So here. Okay. Alright. And okay. Wonderful. So let me show you the final product. So you could see that it looks exactly like it first came from the factory. Right here. Did I disable the automatic zoom on this one too? The autofocus. This one. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. So as you can see, it's pretty much exactly like it was supposed to be. Just some extra stuff left right here on the front, right there on the front, but it's gonna be even better than factory. Okay. Okay. Good job. Hold on. Since we took the heatsink off, we need to clean the CPU from all the thermal paste and apply new thermal paste onto the CPU. A new thermal paste needs to be applied. Okay, like that, like that. Garbage. We are mostly concerned with the metal part of it, not the sides. Don't want to make holes in here by rubbing it too much. Now let's do the CPU side. All right. And the CPU side came out easily. Garbage that. Okay. Nice and clean. Did I kill the autofocus? Yeah. Okay. So let's put some thermal paste right here. Okay. Don't put too much, but good enough to that. And that's the reason we have gloves, because of the stuff getting all over the place. Alright, place it back like that. Gloves off. Let's screw everything back together. Okay. Don't over tighten it, just easy finger tight everything. The most boring video you probably have ever seen, but I'm here to fix it once and for all. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna put some extra tape on top of the wire, so that the wire won't be shorting in case it's gonna be hitting something else. Right, like that. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Now let's put it back in. We need more finger strength to do this properly. Don't force the board and make sure it's gonna fall in. Force the casing out a little bit more, like that, like that, like that, and almost there. Yeah, like that. We'll make sure the holes align before you're gonna assemble it further. Okay. All right. Okay. And the holes aligned on this end too. So now what we wanna do is we wanna connect this cable right here. Connect that. Connect that. And this we're gonna connect the last. So here right now what we're gonna do is we wanna put the 11 nuts and bolts back in. Okay. This is a torque driver, so it's not gonna damage the screw. Alright, so all 11 screws are in. like that. Wonderful. Alright, so I want to put some thermal. That's gonna go a bit later. Not thermal, but I want to put some tape in the back of the jack, just like that. Like that. Okay, nice. Let's put the LCD screen back onto the motherboard. Okay, this cable gonna be there. All the dirt is gonna be flowing out here. And so what I want to do is I want to put just front two screws first. One right here. No. And one right there on the right hand side. Okay. So if we flip it forward, what we're going to do is we're going to put this brace right there and secure the brace in place. Okay. Okay. Now that's the reason you don't want to have a battery connected to this time. Okay. Here we connect the webcam, connect the wireless, put one of those tiny pieces right here. Wonderful. Alright. What we want to do here, we want to connect the LCD cable. Just press it inwards. Now you want to guide all of that stuff right here through like that. Oh, like that. Okay. And here you want to align this this part with the hole that goes inside. So here. Okay. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to put the remove this securing tape right here. We got one screw to go right there. Okay, so there is one screw right here, but there are two screws right here on the front. Right here, two screws. Two that secure the bracket, one that's right there. And strange, we don't have a screw right here, and it doesn't indicate that we're supposed to have a screw there. And I don't see any extra screws around. I'm talking about this hole right here, it's empty. So usually there is an error like that indicating that we should secure it. There should be a screw there, but there is no arrow. Oh well, okay. So let's connect the cable. carefully with the cable. And so connect the cable. Then you don't want to forget the battery. Cable connection, just press it in there until the black line is no longer visible. Then lock it in place by moving the white piece forward. So now what we want to do is we want to connect the battery. And battery is connected. Now we want to flip it over slowly and kind of guide it underwards like that. Ah, I see. Okay, so that's what the screws are for. Yeah, so those screws I was talking about, one right there and one right there, those are for the for those two guys right here. Okay. Good job. Now this has to be sitting here perfectly straight. You might even want to put some tape on it, because once you put the top cover, alright, so this should be perfectly straight. Now we connect the speakers and remove the extra accumulation of stuff. Alright, wonderful. So here we're gonna do something like this, like that, and like that, like that. This is not a wag nuts on the car, so don't over tighten it too much. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we got 2 screws that are hidden right here and right there. Okay. And I hope it's all gonna work. Pretty straightforward model. Okay. Okay. This screw right here is the tiniest screw of all, this one. And then kind of shove it in there. Make sure none of them is sticking out. Like that. Like that. Wonderful. Okay. So we stick it right here. We stick it right there. What we want to do is we want to open it up, then connect the power supply, and see if you're gonna get a light in the front, the charge light. And let's switch the camera. Okay. Right here we got the charge light. If you're gonna disconnect it, the charge light goes away. Put it back in. Disconnect it again. Put it back in. Alright. So we want to make sure the clamp is all the way clamped. Alright. And now we want to power it up. Press the power button. And you see Republic of Games. I'm going to switch to a different screen to make sure there is no personal information displayed on the video. Alright. An hour and 7 minutes. If nobody would call, if the finger wouldn't beat. I'm waiting for it to load up. By the way, so powerjackrepair.net, you might want to leave a like on this video if it was of any help to you. Comment if you have any questions. We usually like to respond to YouTube comments. And we can change the power jack on this model for you for $100 or $60 if you send just the motherboard. I'm waiting for it to power up all the way to show you that there is gonna show that it's charging. Hold on 1 second. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Still loading. It's probably not a solid state drive in there, probably a hard drive. So if you want to speed up this system, i7, i5, this is i5. Got a good video card, got a good, nice processor, but it doesn't have a solid state drive. Alright, come on, any day now. Come on. Alright. One more. I apologize. It's clients' laptops. They take sometimes forever to power up because people don't put solid state drives in. I still get the image. Trust me. It didn't come up. Okay, here, right there. There's some information. No, not so much. Okay, so let me show you the charging symbol right there. You see, it's plugged in and battery charging. Now I'm gonna disconnect it. It goes to battery, connected back in, plugged and charging. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for watching. And Saturday, November 17th, 8 p.m. Yeah, we work 6 days a week, by the way. So if you want to stop by on Saturday, stop by on Saturday. Thank you. Bye.